I'm just wondering, though, the sense from all that I'm getting from what you have said is that you're losing confidence in the ability of security agencies to protect you and protect the state. Is that right?
But I've made that clearly, not because of today. I've stated it severally. I just gave you an example. I just told you. I came back on a Thursday, and I spoke with my commissioner of police.
But that is just one example. That is one example because we have talked about security several times in River State.
Yes.
You have maintained that River State is a safe place to do business.
Yes.
You have said this is a place where people feel safe.
Yes.
You have said you have no problems with security agencies. The security agencies are doing their job.
Yes.
Is that right?
In terms of, now you have to get this clear. Now let me tell you. I said, when it concerns how to fight crime, or in support of fighting crime, for example, yes, we have always collaborated. But they forget the fact that when you bring political interference, as it was in this case now, that could lead to crime. That could lead to the breach of peace, another in the state. So crime is not only when you are fighting cultists, when you are fighting armed robbers, but you are conniving with the section of a party or a party to obstruct the administration of justice.
If I could
lead to a breach of peace and order.
If I could jump in here, because I mean these are serious allegations that you're raising, and you say some of these are not the first time that they're happening. Have you given the president the benefit of the doubt and informed him of this matter?
What have I not said in this country?
But have you officially informed him?
I said I have written several. You see, if you understand how the system operates, you will know the hand. I'm a politician, with all due respect. I don't need to hide that. I've worked in the system. I work at the local government level. I work at the state level, and I work at the federal level. I should be able to know when a system is interested to solve a problem. I should be able to know when a system is influencing or fueling a crisis to achieve a particular purpose, in this case, a political purpose. So you should be able to know.
But the president has spoken about his interest and determination to ensure that there's peace.
Now, you see, that's what I mean. How many times have I, okay, take for example, I said here, I think I'm the only state, and which I've said severally, that as I came on board, would I say, being lucky to work with at least not less than 6, 7 commissioners of police within 1 year. And what is the purpose of that? I came on board and I told the police authorities, there are police personnel, there are security officers that will jeopardize the security architecture of this state. This is the chief security officer talking. And you come and say, no, it's not true. It's political. What is political? That I took out of office to protect life and property, and unfortunately, I'm not in control of the security agencies. And I come to tell you, look, police officer A, police officer B, these people will compromise the security architecture of the state because they have done that before. And you never listen. You say it's political. I won't begin to wonder what is political about it. If a chief security officer says, look, this person will compromise the security architecture. The security officer is not saying, give me so-so person, give me so-so person. And you are doing nothing to it. And you are telling me I should believe that was not intentional?
But are you assuming that the presidency is aware of what's going on?
It's not a question of assuming. The issue of assumption is we are far from that. I mean, we've gone beyond that. It is correct. It is correct. There's nobody in this country that does not know that it is correct. And what is the whole essence of all this? We must take River State, whether by hook or crook. In fact, some of them will take blood.
Are you feeling threatened?
Threatened? I said before, if you are to do election today, and there is 40% assurance, 40%, I'm not about 50% assurance, there are 40% assurance that they will conduct, likelihood to conduct free and fair election. I don't need to be around. What I'm trying to say, the alert I'm trying to is that, look, in doing this, you don't expect us to fold our hands. There are people who resist. And when people resist, what will be the outcome? Violence. And when the violence comes, it's not the state is not safe. So when you are laying the foundation for violence, and I'm saying, look, what you are doing is going to lead to crisis. And we have to stop this. I'm not threatened in any way, never.
What did you mean when you said that you mobilized people? Some people will say that, did you take the law into your hands, by getting people to go to the courts, people who are not security agent officers?
Oh, see, that's where the country is sliding to.
Are you encouraging people to take the law into their hands?
What is taking the laws done? Are you encouraging people to commit crime? Assuming today, I'm told that there are armed robbers on the road, for example, and I call security men, nobody's around. Can't I call the villagers, mobilize, and see what we can do? What is wrong in that? That are taking a step to stop people from preventing the administration of justice, disrupting the administration of justice. You should be, in fact, the state should even be praised and encouraged. It's like a coup. People are plotting a coup, and you mobilize to stop that coup.
But there ought to be legal ways of addressing
what
this.
What is the legal way?
If you say that you called a commissioner of police in your state,
yes,
the courts are under threat, and he did not do his job,
yeah,
there ought to be a formal way of addressing it.
This is the problem. Do you realize, like I said, are you telling me that people have mobilized to overthrow a government? And then you are telling me as somebody who is there to protect.
People have mobilized.
No, I'm coming. What I'm trying to say.
Yes.
What is different between that and coup?
How is it a coup?
Why is it not a coup? Why is it not a coup? The moment you overrun the judiciary, what do you call a coup?
Was the judiciary overrun?
What was that? What do you mean by overrunning an institution? What was that? Do you know that that particular day, people who are supposed to have their bail applications, people who are supposed to be released by the various courts, who are in the magistrate, maybe in the magistrate courts, do you know what would have happened? Do you know how this would have been affected? But apart from that, what would have been the impression that yes, we succeeded in making the court not to sit? No, tell me. If the court, which we think is the hope of every man, not common man now, is being prevented from sitting, what happens tomorrow?
Did they eventually sit?
Of course they start. Of course they start. And that's the point I'm trying to make. If you succeed in making sure that the judiciary does not do its work, if you succeed in making sure that the courts do not sit, what happens in the country? What is democracy you're talking about? Democracy has been overthrown.
So it's a failed coup attempt?
Of course it was.
But
mind you, in terms of coup, you can have a civilian coup, and there's no law that says people should not mobilize to stop a coup. This was a state where the court was shut down for 2 good years. Nobody said anything in this country. If it were in advanced countries where somebody would shut down a court, and nothing will happen. And I also told you, these were the same people when they were in government that declared public holiday to prevent a court from giving ruling. Now they are no longer government, so they cannot declare public holiday. Now they are no longer in government. They can now go directly by government saying the court should to what they did.
I imagine that when you talk about a coup, I mean, you're talking about overthrow of a sitting government.
Exactly.
You say that you do not have any case in court. How was the matter in court, going to affect you?
No. The point I'm making is that, listen, first of all, you have 3 arms of government. And for me, the most important is the judiciary.
Not the legislature?
I said to me, it's debatable. I'm entitled to my own view. Now, why do I say so? The legislature makes law. We are not entitled to interpret the law. The executive implements the law. So there is an institution, there is an arm of government that will interpret the law made. There is an arm of government to say, no, executive, what you are doing is outside the ambit of the law. Whether you like it or not, maybe you are not taking that into consideration. It is my duty to make sure that the state is safe for business. Let nobody have that impression that the state is not safe. Of course, you would have wondered. And of course, they came up, you say, oh, Pt.2 again. What were they trying to achieve? To give an impression that people can wake up early morning and go to a whole judiciary, the court, where you and I, if tomorrow we have problems, that's what we run to. There are those who have problems that day who have to go to court to seek for justice. And then suddenly people will just wake up in the morning and say, no, today. Now look at it. The same man who shot the court for 2 years, when he was governor of the state, shot the court for 2 years. When I set up the judicial panel of inquiry, was the same man who ran to the court, assuming, though not conceding, that we agreed, let the court be shut down. Which court would have run to? So the point we are making is that we will do everything. And that's what we are saying. That look, our complaint against security agencies, what they are doing, is not because we have anything personal, but that people will resist what these people are doing. And when they resist that, it will lead to something else.
We'll come to that when we come back from this break in just a moment. Don't go away.